Hey everybody, Marcus here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I've got the Autel Evo Nano Plus with me today. I'll bet I haven't flown this drone in over a year. This drone came out, well, I ordered it when it first became available, and I just looked back, and my first video was January 2nd, 2002. So it's a 3.5-year-old drone. Honestly, the first year that I had this drone, it had some development problems, but kudos to Autel. They finally got it all figured out, and it is really a nice drone with an excellent camera. The Autel Nano Plus has that RYYB sensor in the camera, and it takes some really superior video. Unfortunately, you can't buy this drone anymore. Autel, it's weird. First they talked about that they were going to get out of the consumer drone business, but they still make their Evo line, including the Evo Lite, and they've even expanded on that a little bit. But I looked to see if I could find anywhere where you could buy the Nano or the Nano Plus anymore, and I can't find it. I'm trying to remember at the time, I think I paid like $800 for this kit, a 3-battery kit. In any case, if you can find one used someplace or on eBay, etc., this is a pretty good little product. So as you can see, it's got a full set of sensors here. It's got optical flow, and I can't remember if this is a time of flight sensor, but anyway, it's the sensor that tells it how far off the ground it is. And then it has optical sensors in the front and back for obstacle, well, I was going to say obstacle avoidance, but really it just brakes. In other words, it won't go around an obstacle like some DJI drones, but it will come to a stop so that you don't hit it. And that was where some of the teething pain was with this drone. There was a point that I sent this thing back into them. They adjusted all that stuff, and it's worked great ever since. There were some issues with the gimbal at first. We were getting some shaky video. They redid some things on that gimbal. And like I said, it works really good. But in any case, again, I haven't flown this thing in over a year. I'm out at Kleiner Park. This is a park you've seen a lot of in a lot of my videos, but it's just a good place to fly. Let's just see how this guy does. I'm going to stumble through the app. I haven't been into the app in a long time, but we'll look at the features. I'll see if I can stumble through some of the features on it and show them to you. And yeah, let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, so let's get this thing fired up. What I'm wondering about is if we might not have some firmware updates. Again, it's been a long time since I've fired this guy up. A couple things I wanted to point out. These, the gimbal sticks, there's no place to store them on the controller. I forgot about that. You got to keep them in the bag. No big deal, but just wanted to point that out to you. So let's fire it up here, and I'll fire up the Autel Sky app, and we'll see if we got any firmware updates. So here's the Autel Sky app, and hopefully it won't take it too long to get connected here. And it tells us that it is broadcasting remote ID. This is a sub 250 drone, so technically you wouldn't need remote ID. Yeah, and look at that, it's asking for a firmware update. So we're going to do that. So upgrade firmware before flying. Let's see if it tells us what it is. Yeah, upgrade notes. Okay, this is what we're interested in here. Optimize no-fly zone, optimize remote ID, fixed other known issues, and then some EU stuff that, I don't know if you're in the EU, you might be worried about yet. So I'll let you guys read that if you need that in the EU, but let's go ahead and start the download and upgrade. So hopefully this won't take too long. I'll be right back with you when we're done with the firmware update. Okay, that took about 15 minutes to do that update, so let's go ahead and fire it up here. And this is the battery that I did the update with. You'll notice there's an orange battery in a red drone. There's a story behind that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, firing up the Autel Sky app again. Let's see if we get that start button, and we do. Born to Explore, it says. So yeah, let's go ahead and hit that start button, Gimbal self-checking, it says. So one of the things I remember about this drone is if you start recording before you take off, it starts off in a lower resolution and then switches to the higher resolution. So we're going to wait and we're going to take off first. And we are in auto, and let's look at that camera menu real quick. Yeah, we're in 4K 30 frames per second. Now remember, there's a secret to get HDR going, but on the safety menu here, max altitude 120 meters, that's perfect. 43 meter return to home altitude is good. Signal loss, we want it to return to home. It's not asking for any calibrations, yeah, that's just the settings. The battery looks good, so we are good to go. Let's switch into camera here. We got our grid lines on. Might as well format the SD card while we're in there, right? Make sure we got that going. It is a hot day today, so we're going to do an automated takeoff on the app. And again, I'm going to stumble through this. It's been a long time since I've messed with this app. So you got to slide to take off. And there's the drone. And as I would expect, nice and stable. It's, you know, I had it was telling me when I was lower to the ground there, but let's spin it around here and bring it into view. And I'm in the shade, so I'm not going to be real easy to see. Let's drop that camera down a little bit. Let's see if we can bring this guy into the camera, which is right in front of me. Yeah, you know what? The sensors are doing what they should. It won't let me bring it in very far. So we are in standard flight mode here. In any case, I think we need to do our droney. And you guys are going to be very familiar with this area because, again, I'm at Kleiner Park. So reverse and up. And I hit hard on that up stick there, heading back to some trees. I remember about this drone, when you're doing two stick movements, evidently it limits how far how much power can go to the drone. So I'm going down and up at the same time, and it's fairly sluggish. So things that you remember. And now I let go of the reverse, and so you can see it's climbing pretty quick. Now let's let go of the climb. Yeah, and let's see, how fast are we going here? At about 4 meters per second in reverse. So that's in standard mode. Well, we're going to do my favorite rotation here, just to kind of help me get used to these flight controls, because again, it's been a while since I've flown this guy. So let's see if we can do an orbit around the sculpture here. This is just such a beautiful time to be flying this time of year. Everything's nice and green. Today is a fairly warm day. There's some high clouds, but it's not quite 90 degrees, so it's pretty warm. Yeah, and you know, these flight controls work quite well. As you can see, I'm able to do a nice manual orbit without issue at all. A couple things that strike me right off the bat is that yeah, it isn't as fast as what I'm used to with, say, a DJI mini drone or even some other drones. It's not, evidently they limit how far the drone can pitch, and I suspect, I remember that from earlier, and I suspect that's related to how far the gimbal can move, right? Because they don't want to have you if you're pitched too far, the gimbal could end up looking up at the nose of the drone and so forth. So sometimes they have to limit speed because of what the gimbal can do. Okay, I'm down in that picnic shelter you see down there. We're going to fly right over the top. And again, we are in standard mode at 5 meters per second. What I realized is I wasn't shooting, and that's the problem with not starting the camera till after you take off. So we're starting the camera now. So what you saw earlier is just going to be the screen recording. I apologize for that. Again, like I said, this drone, if you start recording before you take off, which is what I normally like to do, It shoots in a lower resolution, then it switches into 4K. So yeah, anyway, let's just go across the park here. I know there's some stuff going on the other end of the park. The other thing that I will say about, and I'm making sure I'm facing towards the drone with the controller. The other thing that I'll say about Autel is their control system is really strong. They really do a good job with signal strength and FPV feed. Every bit as good as what I've seen with DJI. So you don't see that on all drones. Okay, this thing's pretty slow. Let's flip it up into ludicrous mode. Confirm, and let's see. So we were only about. I'm going to pick up the camera just a tad, and let's go full stick forward in ludicrous mode here and see what it does for us speed-wise. Yeah, not much more. About 5 meters per second, and there really is not any wind, so yeah, we haven't got a whole lot of battery. So one of the things I wanted to show you is over here. I saw a bunch of cars earlier. Yeah, they had maybe they're okay. It looks like a lot of them have already gone, but there was a they had a jump house and some other stuff, and there were a lot of cars parked along here. But I don't see it so much now. Let's go back. Let's go over the top here. Oh, you know what? I'm confused. It's this other one over here. And again, I'm in ludicrous mode. We're not going any faster than we were in standard mode at about 5 meters per second. So let's go ahead. We're now in smooth, which really slows it down. Now, just for the fun of it, let's see how fast it goes in smooth. You know, changing the speed modes is not making any difference. 5 meters per second. So I can be in any of those speed modes, and it's keeping the same speed. So something's going on. Yeah, I don't know what, but yeah, speed is the same no matter what mode I've got it in here. So anyway, yeah, there's they got some kind of a party going on over there. We're not going to go over the top of them, but just wanted to see that. A lot of cars parked here. And again, it's a warm summer day. It's a Wednesday, so you know, work day for a lot of people. Ooh, wow, sorry about that. Had that yaw moving pretty fast. I'm kind of I'd sure like to figure out this speed mode. I'm going to go into the app, and we're going to see if we can change it in there. Let's go. I'm going into control here. And flight mode, speed mode. So single tap, I can change the speed mode on the function button. So, okay, let's see if we can single tap here. And that changes into standard mode. So let's see if that made a difference here. Full stick forward. And about 5 meters per second again. So let's hit that again. And that's going to put us into ludicrous mode, which is supposed to be high speed. Full stick forward. And again, no difference in speed, so I don't know what's going on. That is a conundrum. So anyway, I was going to tell you about the battery. How come I have one orange battery? Well, when I first got this drone, it was troublesome. There were a lot of issues with it, and I published my review. Well, the folks at Autel saw it, and they said, "Listen, we think you got a bad one or whatever." So they sent me an orange Nano Plus. So I ended up with 2 drones, and the orange one that I had, I think I only had that single battery, and I was flying at the South Florida drone meetup, and my friend Ron Brown handed the control over to Ron Brown, and nothing that he did, not his fault at all. He was just hovering with the drone. I think the drone threw a prop, honestly, but it just went right into the drink in the intracoastal waterway in Florida. So the orange one is gone, and it had one of my red batteries in it. So I still had the orange battery, so that's how I ended up with one orange battery for my red Nano Plus. So let's head back towards where, ooh, wow. So in Ludicrous, it's definitely changed my flight control. So let's go back into smooth mode and try that again. And again, it's making, none of this is making any difference in speed. So I clearly must have a setting messed up or something. Let's go back in there. Let's go into control and see what we can see. Flight mode, let's look at that. Gimbal pitch, aircraft turn speed. So that is just how quickly you yaw and how, well, I'm clicking on Ludicrous just to see what the speed was. So yeah, gimbal manual, gimbal calibration, recenter. Yeah, I don't see anything there. Let's go into camera. We looked at that earlier. We're good to go there. About, that'll tell you all the app version and so forth. So really, there is nothing in this menu I can see that it's affecting that speed mode. So I don't know why we're not getting any difference. Let's go back into standard mode. And yeah, we're getting that same 5 meters per second. So for some reason, I seem to be stuck in low speed mode. Don't know why that is. What we might do, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring it back and land it, and we'll switch out the battery and see if that makes a difference. So let's back it up here a little bit, and let's try out return to home and see if it'll find the landing pad. I got a pretty big area here. Return to home landing, and let's see how it does. So it's going to go up to its, I think we had 42 meters, I think we had, something like that for the return to home height. It's going to 30 meters high. Well, maybe I didn't remember what I had it set at. Let me drop the camera down here. It's reorienting itself, which is what it's supposed to do. Boy, look at that. It is right on the pad. I think it's going to hit. I think we're going to get a perfect landing. Look at that. If you look at that X in the middle of the screen there, yeah, it's going to be right on the pad. Well, now it's moving off slightly. We'll see if it moves back. The obstacle avoidance is seeing the picnic shelter here. Yeah, it's weird. It was right on and then it moved off there at the very end, but we're on concrete, so we're good. And down it goes. One thing I forgot is this guy does not move the camera up as it lands. So I did that manually. It does stop shooting though once it's on the ground. Okay, let's switch out the battery real quick and we'll take off again. So we've got an FPV feed and it told me it's initializing, so it looks like we're good to go. Let's do 100% battery, so let's go ahead and do a manual takeoff. So I'm going to go both sticks down and in, and left stick up. There we go. Flip it around. We're in standard mode. Let's try another droney and see if restarting it might have fixed our speed problem. Well, not much, and you can see I'm having to let go of the back stick to get it as high in the air as I want. Sorry, I needed to drop that camera down, and it's going no faster. Yeah, reverse, we're about 4.2 meters per second, so I don't know, kids. I don't know what's going on there. let's see. I forgot I need to start, forgetting to start shooting, so we're going to start that right now. So we got video started, and let's put it into ludicrous mode. Confirm, and I'm going to go up higher. See, the horizontal speed was pretty good there. Let's move forward and see. Nah, it's just not, it just isn't really changing the speed modes. And I don't remember having that problem before, so something with this firmware update or something, but we've got no speed modes, and it sure slowed this drone down, I can tell you that. I was hoping that just rebooting it might fix that issue, but no such luck. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to look into was, well, in fact, let's take a look at, let me get it centered up on the sculpture here, and let's take a quick look at the zoom on this guy. So as you can see on the screen there, we've got a 1x, 2x, and 4x, and this is just cropping in on the sensor. But there's 2x. Let me center up just a little. And let's show you 4x. So, you know, you can judge the quality for yourself, but again, it's just cropping on the sensor, but that's good to know. So we're back to 1. Let's go back to 1x. And then I want to try out some of the intelligent flight modes on this guy. So let's move over to the side here and get in a little closer. I'm going to see if I can use the tip of the sculpture as our subject. As I recall, I need to stop recording to get into the intelligent flight mode. So we're going to do that right now. And look at that. So there you've got that menu. You can see it says portrait. And it sees me there. You can see that plus. Aircraft has reached location. So I should be able to then, yeah, and it's staying on me. So essentially, that's cameraman mode. So as I walk around, the drone is not going to move, but it's going to keep you in center of frame. So that's kind of a cool feature. Okay, let's get back to the, I wonder if it'll stay on me. And it is. So you could use that, in other words, if you just wanted to record a video and keep yourself as a camera, you know, in the frame. So we're going to stop that. And I'm kind of in a spot here where I'm a little concerned to try some of these. It sees me, but I want to go into quick shots. Yeah, we are not going to do a flick because I'm not in an open enough area. Let's do a fadeaway, 60 meters, and I'm going to be prepared in case. I'm going to select myself. I'm going to click go, and I'm going to have my finger on that pause button if it looks like it's going to back into the sculpture or the tree back there. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, go. It's counting down. Yeah, it's gaining altitude pretty quick. So I was concerned about the trees and the sculpture back there, but it's fine. It's going to be well above them. So it's doing an auto droney there. So a quick shot just like you would find with a DJI drone. So that works. They've got some other stuff here, but I'm afraid I'm not in an open enough area to use it. Yeah, so now it's returning. And the cool thing about obstacle avoidance is it's coming back. It's not going to run into anything. So it'll stop when it gets here. Okay, so let's see. I'm struggling to see my FPV screen, so I'm going to hit that X to get out of there. And we got a rocket. Let's try a rocket. I'm going to get back out and see if I can be the subject of that rocket. Hit that plus. Oh, well, I think it's got me. Click go. It's counting down. And it should keep me in center of frame as it goes up. It appears that it is. I got to tell you, I'm standing out here in the bright sun, and my phone just continues to dim. So, and there it's done. It's on its way back down. So you saw we had a couple more there. We had that flick, which is a it's kind of hard to explain. It kind of it's kind of a hybrid version of a helix. I was trying to think of the right word. So we're beeping here. Okay, so it's back. So then I forgot we got tracking, and I remember tracking never worked very well on this drone, and I'm a little nervous in this area. Maybe we can try it. Let me go out here a little bit. You know what? Before we do that, I want to see if we can if we can do waypoints on this thing, and I can't remember. So I'm switching to the map, putting the map on the screen, and show flight path, clear flight path. Yeah, so that's yeah, I do not see anything that would allow me to create a waypoint mission. You can see our flight path there. You know, so I could yeah, I can just drop a pin, but it doesn't, yeah, that doesn't do anything. I couldn't remember if this thing had some version of waypoints on it or not. Clearly it doesn't. So let's look at some of the other. You got portrait that we looked at shooting. Hyperlapse, I don't think we got enough battery power to do that. Yeah, we can take some panos here. So let's get the drone up. And let's kind of, maybe we can get a nice bird's eye view of the park. Again, I'm a little disappointed in the speed that I can't get this guy into ludicrous, and it's in ludicrous mode right now, I guess, but I can't get it above 5 meters per second. It used to fly faster than that. So something, I don't know if it was this firmware update or not, but we're definitely restricted. But in any case, let's get out of here and let's try some of these panos here. So clicking on pano, and let's do a wide angle, and let's start right now. It's taking 9 pictures, it tells me. Boy, it's yeah, we're down to 40% battery, so we used up some battery. Well, I'm having fun with the drone. I'm a little disappointed in some things. I don't know what's going on with that speed mode. We'll have to see if we can get that figured out. 8 pictures, 9 pictures. And I don't remember if this, yeah, see, it looks like it's, yeah, panoramic photo is processing. So I'm not sure if I'll find that on my camera roll or on my mobile device. But let's get in a different spot here. Move forward. And by the way, I'm going to change that speed mode while we're at it too. Doesn't matter what mode I'm in, because it's just going to fly at the same speed no matter what I do. We're kind of stuck in smooth mode for some reason. Okay, picking up the camera here. I want to kind of point towards the village at Meridian here. I'm seeing a little bit of tilt on the in the screen here. Yeah, I mean, there's noticeable tilt in the screen here. So let's stop for a second. In the horizon, I meant to say. But anyway, okay, let's go into pano again. And let's do a landscape And I'm not sure how many pictures that'll be, but it's going to tell us 12 pictures. Okay, so I didn't make you sit through it taking all those pictures, but yeah, we did pretty good there, I think. And yeah, now it's processing. So we are almost back to return to home. Let's see if it'll do its own. Let's go back into shooting mode and let's start video. And I'm gonna fly it out here a ways. And we'll see if we can force it into low battery return to home. Picking up the camera a little bit. And again, let's see if we can get it into low battery return to home. One of my favorite things to look at here is this roundabout right here. That's a fun spot to take some video at. So yeah, let's see. Let me see if I can spin it around. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're doing all right here. Ooh, I overdid the yaw there. Yeah, but let's see. We're down to 21% battery. It should be, yeah, there we go. So let's let it do its countdown here. And let's see what it does. It should pick the camera up straight forward. I want to see what it does automatically. And it says returning to home, but it left the camera in that look down position. Again, I'm flying a lot of DJI, so that shows. And it is coming home at 43 meters high, which I think is where we had well, maybe I was already at 43 meters high, but I thought I had return to home set at about 40 some meters high. But here she comes. And let's try again for a precision landing, see how we do. Well, wow, it's off a little bit. We're gonna keep our finger on that cancel button. It's moving forward enough now, I think. Yeah, no, we're fine. It's gonna miss the lip. All I'm worried about is that it misses the lip of the picnic shelter here, and it looks like it's gonna be right on the edge of the shadow, right in front of me, really. So yeah, here it comes. It's going to clear us easily. I am going to pick that camera up and face it forward. So we got that going on. Do a clap so that I can synchronize audio. Aircraft battery is critically low. It's taking it a while to shut down the motors. Look at that. Finally did it. Finally figured out it was on the ground. And I like that it stops recording. Okay, let me get it all shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, the Autel Nano Plus. I can't remember if they call it the Evo Nano Plus. They usually put Evo in about everything they do at Autel. Hang on, I'm going to look. I'll tell you for sure. So right here in the quick start guide, Evo Nano Plus. So everything at Autel is an Evo, including the Nano Plus. Okay, so pluses and minuses with this little drone. I'm sure you're going to love the video off the camera. I've flown it enough that I know it takes really good video, and I know those panos will look really good too. Disappointment that I couldn't get it out of smooth mode. I couldn't get it faster than 5 meters per second. Even when I put it in standard mode to ludicrous mode, it didn't change the speed. Tried rebooting, and what you guys didn't see is after I landed that last time, I stuck another battery in it and took off and tried to troubleshoot some of that stuff, and I just couldn't get to the bottom of it. Looked through the app, couldn't figure out why it's not changing speed modes, but it's not. My particular Nano Plus seems to be stuck in that low speed mode, and that's a problem because it's not going to fight wind as well. It's not as much fun to fly when you can't get the drone to where you want it to be. So that is what it is. When I get home, I'm going to look in the owner's manual. I've got it PDF on my computer so I can blow it up big and it'll be easy to read. I'm going to look through it, and if I find a solution to that, I will cut into this video. Also, I want to look into what I needed to do to get it into HDR. It says I couldn't do it in Pro mode. I remember there was a trick, there was something you had to do to get HDR video. I don't remember what it was, but I will look into that too, and when I get home, and I'll cut into the video right now and let you know what I found. Hey, I told you I'd break into the video if I could figure out what was going on, and I kind of did. I got it half figured out. So why couldn't I get the Nano Plus into HDR mode? I actually Googled it. I went through the manual. The manual was worthless in that regard. Couldn't solve either problem by looking in the manual. However, I Googled it. Google took me to my own video about 3 years ago that explained how you get it into HDR mode. The drone has to be flying, and you have to start video, or you have to, has to be up in the air before you can switch it into HDR mode. So we'll try that out here real quick. We'll show you that flight. Now, secondly, 5 meters per second top speed, no matter what speed mode I put it in. That one's a killer. There is a setting in the speed mode settings that you can put it in video priority or speed priority when in ludicrous mode. I already had speed priority checked, so that's not the issue. That seemed like it was an obvious answer, but that's not the issue. So I did a ton of things. I uninstalled the app, reinstalled the app. I've done a full calibration, IMU calibration and compass calibration. Messed around with a lot of stuff, turned obstacle avoidance on and off, you know, to see if that made any difference. It doesn't seem to. So whatever it is, I don't think I've figured that one out. Now, I haven't flown it since I did the IMU calibration, so we're going to do that right now. I'm going to take it up in the air. We're going to engage that HDR mode, and I just want to show you what that looks like. Okay, you can see on the screen recording we are in standard mode speed-wise, and got the drone fired up. So let's go ahead and take off. Doing a manual takeoff. And I'm going to go straight up, get out of the way of any obstacles, and I'm going to tilt that camera down just a little bit. And then we're going to go into the little 2 lines on the top right, and you can see I have HDR selected. It's on, and you can only do that when you have the drone in the air. So that's the only issue there, and it's not available in Pro mode. Pro mode is where you're manually adjusting the camera settings, so I knew we weren't doing that. But anyway, the secret to turning it on is having the drone in the air first. So there's that. Now, I haven't tried it since we did the since I did the IMU calibration. We are in standard mode, which is normal speed mode. Should get up to 10 meters per second. Let's go full forward, and well, look at that. Look at that. Wow, we found the cure. Look at that, 10 meters per second. It's doing it. So that IMU calibration, I'm going to assume that the IMU calibration I did changed that. Okay, so what I forgot here is we didn't start recording. So let's start recording so you can see what that HDR looks like. Hey, we've cured it. I was really discouraged. I didn't think I was going to get that speed issue taken care of, but look at this. We are in standard mode, and we are flying at, let me get it straightened out here, see if it'll get up to, there's 8 meters per second. All we could get was 5 meters per second previously, so there's 9 meters per second. Must be going, it must have a little wind that it's going against. Okay, let's switch it into ludicrous mode here. I let off the stick. It's warning me that no obstacle avoidance in ludicrous mode. Full stick forward. And top speed in ludicrous mode is supposed to be well, it's supposed to be 15 meters per second. Well, it's not going that fast. Yeah, it's about 9 meters per second. Okay, so maybe we are going into the wind. I didn't think there was much wind today, but sorry for this. I'm really spinning it around faster than I would like, but I'm going to get it turned around, facing back towards us. Let's come back towards us and see if there's a wind difference. Yeah, and there is. Look at that, 11, 13, 14. There's 15 meters per second, which is the top advertised speed in ludicrous mode. Hey, look at that. We solved both of those problems. So I'm going to tell you, evidently, that IMU calibration is what did it for me. So that's a good thing. Yeah, so like again, I hadn't flown the drone for a while. Anyway, I want to quit wasting your time. I'm going to land the drone. You guys got to see some video while it was in HDR mode, and you got to see it at normal speed. So we solved both of those problems. All right, on with the rest of the conclusion. I wish that Autel still made this drone, and I wish they had like a Nano 2 version of it. They could keep improving this product and improving the drone. Would have been nice, but they haven't, so we don't have one. But I'm going to say if you can find one on eBay or something like that, it is a worthy choice for a sub 250 mini drone. I will tell you, it does have remote ID built in. Even though it's under 249 grams, it still has remote ID. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I just wanted to fly. I had fun flying. This is Marcus with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate that you took the time to watch this video today. And of course, we will see you on the next one, the Autel Evo Nano Plus. Nice little red drone. See ya.